Hi everyone, welcome back to Eclectic. This is Alina from Argentina, and today I want to point out a situation. It involves manipulation, right? And it involves gaslighting and some triangulation and some hoovering, okay? And this is a classic that happens. I don't know, I've seen this so many times, you know, in couples and in just people that know each other at work. You know, it's very it varies, but the situation is the same. The mechanism is the same. So what I'm referring to, I'm talking about blame and I'm talking about guilt. So if you feel you're guilty, you tend to be guilty, you're a guilty person, like you feel guilty a lot, I think you're going to like this video, or at least find it useful, I hope. So I'm sure as I start telling you this, you will say, yes, this happened to me. Let me know below, please. Narcissistic people, you know, they have a wide variety of manipulation techniques, and I have a video about that, link it here. But this is especially like, you know, it's like A, B, C, D, E, you know what's happening next because they do it all the time. But unless you know this, like I'm telling you this now, you just live through that and then you don't believe this is a thing, you know. So yeah, they accuse you of something that you didn't do, okay? The typical case is the guy that goes, you know, on a trip or something and goes back and accuses the wife of being with other guys or with different men, I don't know. Another case is the wife that goes for a trip, let's say, and she comes back home and the husband, which is the narcissist in this case, he just locks the door, doesn't let her in, and says, you abandoned us, you're neglectful, you left us here, and you know, you're not allowed to come back because you left us, and crazy making, you know, this is gaslighting. So they gaslight you into they want you to believe that you did something that you did not do. So, and this, I made a video about DARVO, deny, abuse, reverse, victim, offender, and that's a research paper that is well known, that explains this mechanism. They are accusing you, so now you're the offender, and then they are the victim. After that, they accuse you of things that you would never do on top of that, like things that are so foreign to you, like, so you would never do things like that, whatever it is they are accusing, that it sounds crazy, and you start thinking, you know, what is this? Or sometimes they accuse people of things that they would never do, but the person that is being accused is so well trained at home, usually, in taking other people's blame and justifying the accuser of things, and that it works wonders, you know, for them. So we'll talk about your guilt at the end of the video, but it's very important to me to first explain this mechanism. Okay, so they accuse you of things you didn't do, and then sometimes they disappear and they let you think about what you did wrong. You know, you go to your corner and think about what you did, and then you start thinking that oh, okay, let's see, what did I do? So if it's the first time you went through this, you will start doubting yourself a lot, and this is sickening because you start doubting yourself and feeling guilty. That's what they want. And if you don't know anything about these mechanisms and narcissistic abuse, you start doubting yourself, and then they start adding more condiments to this triangulation. They usually go to somebody else and tell them what happened, and they use them to even hurt you more, you know, go to the wound and do this, like, oh, that hurts, okay, here we go. That's what they do. So they go and get another person to triangulate, and then this person that is usually innocent sometimes, yeah, most of the times they don't know what they're into, you know, they don't know, they just believe the narcissistic person. And so it's a mess. And then they go and say to you, what happened? What did you do? Why are you saying these things? What? You know, are you nuts? What's wrong with you? You're not like this. Exactly, I'm not like that. I didn't do this. But there's no way they will believe you. So, you know that. Don't lose time with that. Just say what you, please do say, because you need to get it out. Say whatever it is that you feel to that person that comes asking, like flying monkey type of guy comes to you, accusing you as well and asking what happened. Okay, say, yes, I did. This is not what I did. You know, this happened this way, blah, blah. And that's all you can do, okay? If this person is aware of things, he or she will say, oh, okay, I get it. And if not, it's okay too, you know. Don't worry with that. I know it's hurtful because sometimes you're losing people that you really love, but someday they will know, I hope. So it's okay. You have to concentrate at this point on remaining sane, you know. So there you have more things. You have things that are more important right now to deal with. So I've had cases in my practice where the flying monkeys is not one person or two, it's like a community of people, and they use social media, and it's very damaging. It's important to know that this is something that people do sometimes. People that are narcissistic are in the cluster B range, you know, or spectrum, and yeah, it's good to know this. So after that, the cherry on top, they can even come back, you know, they've been away for a while, accusing you, talking about you, and disappearing so that you can fester in your own guilt and doubt. And so at one point, I don't know when, like a month, 2 days, an hour, whatever, they come back, and do you know what they want from you? They want you to apologize to them. Don't ever apologize, because you didn't do anything, okay? I'm here to tell you. If you feel represented by this, yeah. But now I want to tell you something about guilt. So there's toxic guilt, which is something that victims of narcissistic abuse feel. And I've talked about this in the past, but it's important that you know that there are papers that show that narcissistic people are not able to own what they did. So they are not capable. They are just immune. There's exactly, to cite the paper that I read, to cite the wording, they say they are immune to guilt, to feelings of guilt. So they are immune to that. So it's as if everything goes back. You know, like a coat, a raincoat that you don't get wet. So that's what happens with them, with guilt. They just don't know. Guilt, no. They don't. They don't deal with that. They just know. So forget they owning anything, you know, saying truly, I'm sorry for what I did. No, it's all fake. If they do, say I'm sorry. So the papers and research shows that they are not able to take on the guilt. So what do? They put it on to you. And so you, as a target of abuse, you are the one that will carry guilt forever and ever and ever if you stay in a relationship like this. And then when you leave the relationship, you will still have to deal with that virus that's inside of you, that seed that they planted here, where you have, this is CPTSD, where you have to work with your inner critic a lot and tell him or her, whatever your inner critic looks like, just, you know, shut up, because whatever you're saying, that is not how it is. And it's hard work, and that's what I do for a living, you know. So it's something that it takes a lot of work, and it's damaging. Now I want you to think about yourself, and think if you had any instances growing up where you felt guilty but you didn't know exactly why. So that's toxic guilt. And that is something that is created when someone accuses you of things that you didn't do, or when you're trained to be sort of a slave to the God in your life, like the God with G, like not big G, like G. Okay, so yeah, when you're trained to be a slave, to answer, say yes to everything, because you learned that you had to do that in order to survive in a family like that. It could be good at this point if you could start thinking about what happened at home, growing up. Did somebody accuse you of things you didn't do? Did you have to say yes a lot? When you take on the guilt of somebody else, you're flashbacking to toxic guilt. This is great for narcissists. So learn about your vulnerabilities and see if this is something you can work on. I do know you can work on this. The first thing is realizing that you did have this training at home, for example, maybe, or maybe somewhere else. Learning about this is very important, and working on your guilt and see if, okay, I tend to be guilty, right? So this is something that I do. So next time somebody accuses me of something, I will first start to say, okay, let's be rational. Let's see what happened. You know, objectively analyze the situation and deposit trust on yourself for a change, and start trusting yourself, you know, and see if you really did that, what they're saying, or not. Or, you know, this has to do a lot with confidence, with trusting yourself, with being assertive, with working on your self-esteem. And if this is something that you're interested in doing, I will link some videos here about self-esteem and all that. But it's important that you know that this is a mechanism that narcissists use to control other people and to obtain their narcissistic supply. Thank you so much for being here today. Know that this is a thing and yeah, start. In Spanish we say, moreover in Argentinian, I would say, in Argentina, in castellano, we say ponerse fichas a uno mismo. That means to bet, to deposit trust on yourself. Give yourself some support and start changing that thinking where you first doubt yourself and then give the benefit of the doubt to others. So give the benefit of the doubt to yourself, you know, and start supporting yourself. That's the whole thing here. That's the lesson, okay? I hope this was helpful. Trust yourself. Start trusting yourself for a change, and start loving yourself, as cheesy as that sounds, but it's true. It's a great journey to follow. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope you're well. Take care. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next week, next Saturday. I'm going to be talking about sleep next Saturday. Thank you. Bye bye. Ciao ciao. Hasta luego.